And we are back to Top Dogs. And guys, I wanted to ask you a quick question. How was BLFC for you guys?
Oh,
Oh,
I
you
mean,
did
for
go to
me,
BLFC, Conrad.
I
no,
didn't
I
go.
yes, I went
Sadly.
to VRC. I spent so much money on Fat Tuesdays.
Fat
I
Tuesdays.
have never bought so much chocolate shake alcohol ever in my entire life. It was the best decision I've made / worst decision I made ever.
Let me ask you about Fat Tuesdays. Is Fat Tuesdays like a burger restaurant?
No, it's a frozen daiquiri bar. All they
It
sell is frozen drinks.
sounds
They can be mixed.
it sounds like a burger joint to me. Fat Tuesdays, doesn't that not sound like a burger joint?
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. It absolutely sounds like it'd be like a fast food joint, but you had Johnny Rockets across the aisle from
Mm-hmm.
Fat Tuesday, so that was a fast food place, and Fat Tuesdays just get drinks, and I'm not sure if you can get drunk off them because I didn't, but they're definitely good. Very well good, like worth the money. It was like $20 per
probably-
fill up.
You probably didn't get drunk because of all the sugar you took in, because there's a lot of calories you took in with the alcohol, so you probably were okay.
Possibly. I mean, the mud slider which I had was like coffee, coconut. Few other things I can't remember because all I cared about was the taste, and it tasted like chocolate. Whatever they put in it, it was good. That's all I can say.
Okay.
It's perfect.
So, this conversation that we're going to be having today, guys, is about VRChat and virality. So, I wanted to ask you guys, let's start with VRChat. So, do you believe that VRChat comes and brings a variety of different people's of fandoms, not just furries, but anime, people that are fans of anime,
Right.
regular gamers, stuff like that.
No, yeah,
I agree,
of
yeah.
course.
For sure.
Like, the chance of like running across, like you have the anime fans, you have furries, you have just normal people who just want to play VR chat and might not be a fan of either, or just want to enjoy talking with people. It's a large like community on VR chat, and each one is like a niche. Like you have your separate community, like IRL. To be honest, it's like you have like Comic Con. That's more. I feel like Dragon Con, which is more like a cosplaying convention. And then you have like furry cons. It has its own separate people. Now there's gonna be more of anime fans and more like normal people because furries are still growing as a community. Like it's definitely grown in the past like 5 years to say the least. So
Oh yeah, the furry community is only getting bigger.
exactly. And yeah, I mean it's great to have a big community like that on here, to be honest. I enjoy it. I've gotten to meet a lot of good people because of that, like you two and this one over here.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But I guess
What'd you say no there, horsey? Huh?
E.
I heard
That's
a horse. He said
Nay.
he went
Ye-
nay
oh,
to
you.
us. Okay.
Oh, okay. Also, I will say this. I will say I feel like because of the pandemic as well, that is what helped VR chat in general because people having to stay home from the pandemic. VR chat was a good option for people to socialize with other people besides Discord, Telegram, Facebook if people use that, Twitter. So I feel like that helped out with the furry community as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, people are social butterflies, and when everybody's like stuck at home, when the pandemic was happening, being alone can drive you crazy sometimes. So you need to communicate with people, because as human beings, we don't like to be alone. We like to form a pack, like wolves. So actually, you know what, Conrad? I wanted to ask you about VRChat at a specific point. You are a person that doesn't play a lot of words. Video games. Correct.
Right. Yeah, I don't really play. I mean, I had like two other main games that I played a lot of last fall, which was Destiny 2 and Final Fantasy 14. But I haven't been active on those games since probably December. So I don't really play anything else. I don't know. I'm just not really much of a gamer, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to
That's fair.
ask you, like, you're just not a gamer person, but what motivated you to give VR chat a try? Was it because of like being sociable with friends again?
Right. So, I found out about VRChat. The funny thing is, I heard about it before from my sister, because back in 2017, when this was a newer thing, she actually was on here a lot with her friends. And she would tell me about it all the time, and it sounded interesting, but I thought it was just like exclusively for people that had like a VR headset and the software and hardware necessary to run it. Um, but, but I ended up finding out from Cooper Tom, a user on VRChat. Really cool dude. He makes a lot of videos that he uploads to Twitter about different, unique, interesting worlds in VRChat, and I checked out some of those. I don't remember. I think like one of my friends or somebody retweeted his tweet, and I was checking it out, and I was like, man, that is really cool. And I think it was a world that he created. It was his mall, Coopertown Mall, and I was like, that is so cool. And I remember like later that day, I got my I got my Toshiba satellite laptop, which is like basically equivalent to a Chromebook. And I'm like, I want to try this out. So I made my Steam account. I downloaded VRChat and installed it on the computer, and I was able to get on there surprisingly. And then I typed it in, like I kind of figured it out on my own with like the layout with the worlds and your social list and all this kind of stuff. And I went to the Coopertown Mall and walked around, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, especially with the pandemic. You know, this was back in like 2021. Things were still kind of in a funk, and I hadn't been to a mall in forever. So I was like, this is so unique and interesting, and I just thought it was really cool to see like a 3D modeled space of things that we know from real life. I had never seen it before, you know. And yeah, then somebody joined on me because it was a public instance. And that's when I met my first friend on VRChat, who was Lofto. He's an older guy, really cool. And he's kind of the same as Cooper Tom and whatnot, really into like the old-fashioned stuff and retro things. But yeah, that was, I don't know, it's interesting, right? It's like somebody who doesn't really play video games, and all of a sudden, boom, I hop into this new thing that I don't know how to work yet, and all that kind of stuff, and that's when I decided, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna invest into this, and I decided to get like an actual gaming rig and VR, and I'm, you know, really happy that I decided to go through with that, because I definitely don't regret it. I've been enjoying every day that I spend in VRChat. Heck yeah.
Hey, if it wasn't because of VRChat, you wouldn't be where you're sitting right now.
Exactly. Yeah, I would like to say, you know, VRChat changed my life in a way, because before VRChat, I was kind of more of an introvert. I would sit in my room, watch Picarto streams, furry artists, you know, streaming their artwork, and listen to music on Spotify, and that's about all I did. Was like doing that and then watching YouTube videos and working and sleeping, and that was my life. So, it was nice to be able to, you know, get on here and make friends again and hang out with people and do all this new interesting stuff. You know, going and watching movies or going and playing virtual bowling and all that kind of cool stuff. It's just really neat how we have access to all this unique things here in VRChat.
Technically, Wii Sports was the first one to do virtual bowling.
Well, that's true, but it's more immersive here in VRChat. You know, you look around you and it's like, oh, I'm like in this room right now.
I mean, but yeah. Actually, isn't there like a Wii bowling world in VRChat?
It wouldn't surprise me
I
if
think there
is.
is.
Give me a second. I have to look this up now. I think I've been to it too. I just can't remember. Let's see, Wii. Let's just put Wii in. Yeah, Wii Sports Bowling.
Yeah, there is a world. What do you know? Well,
And baseball.
it's confirmed. It's a fact. And baseball. God, I love the baseball and Wii Sports. But
That would be
yeah, back
interesting.
on the topic of VR chat. When I first discovered it, it was introduced to me from a friend, which you might know who they are. It's Agni, one of my good friends. He wanted me to make an account so we could play a horror map. Now, this horror map, I'm not sure if it's still up, but I just don't remember what the name was. That's probably what it is. It was like it's like stage levels of fear. First, you go through this hallway, and then you go through this cabin, and then you go through this place where your helicopter crashed. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they actually is still up. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. After this podcast, I've been wanting to do horror maps on this game for a while, but no one wants to do them.
Oh, I
Everyone's
want
afraid
to
of
do
doing
horror
it.
maps. Maybe we should. You know what? Let's ask the audience, like, hey, audience, would you like us to play horror maps on VRChat? Let us know in the comments down below on TikTok. We'll probably show you this clip on our main account.
Yes. Who's gonna get scared though? I feel like Colton's gonna get scared.
Oh yeah, Colton's gonna get scared.
Wait,
He's
what?
the one that jumps the most.
I'll just be muted. I'll just be muted the whole time, so they'll never know.
No, like on a podcast, us three go do a horror map, or actually us four do a horror map.
I can't with all of you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
That's a horrible
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
No.
No,
It's
it's
a
not a
good
horrible
idea.
idea. You're
a horrible
hey,
idea.
making it a good idea. You're
Horror
making it a good
maps.
idea.
It's
Nope.
what
You're making
made
it
PewDiePie what he is today.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The-
That's fair.
The thing is,
True.
people. So, from what I know, is people love watching someone get scared to death. And if you're one of those people, Colton, well, welcome.
I scream.
Sure.
I'm
Horror
a screamer.
In VR, horror in
I'm a
VR
screamer.
is the only time I can sort of get jump scared. Playing horror games like on PC does literally nothing to me anymore.
There's
Yeah.
what is
So
that
Colton.
world fiction where it's like different stages? Like you have save points. What is that world called?
I don't remember the map, but I think maybe Whiplash might know what it is.
I have it.
Is that Unshattered Destination?
No, they're still
It's-
working on that.
That's scary.
What I think it is, Purify Horror Escape. I might do that one tonight, actually.
Unshattered Destination would be that one that would take forever to do.
I
We
remember
would need
what's
to put that in
the-
parts.
That one and what's the other one that takes forever to do too? Ooh, what's this one?
Yeah, what
There's a
was that
backwards
favorite
one that
one.
takes forever.
It's like
I think it-
AGK or something.
I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. I like how this podcast turned into, oh, let's find horror maps on VRChat. It's still on the subject of VRChat, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
True.
Oh, the back rooms. That's right. The back rooms got updated to where there's actually monsters in it now.
So, let me see.
So Colin, you want to do that after our podcast tonight, huh?
Oh my god.
I would like to do it while we're recording.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah,
know,
we can still record.
We'll put-
There's nothing wrong with we can still record.
I mean, if you want to, we still can.
Oh
Oh, there's the
Oh, I
Devouring,
forgot about
too.
the Haunted Asylum.
So, oh yeah, Haunted Asylum's good. But where is it? Oh yeah, the Devouring.
Beep.
That's also
The
oh, yeah,
Devouring.
it's a 4-player game too.
no. That might be the one I'm thinking about, actually.
No, that one's actually a long horror game, which is amazing for VR chat.
Oh, okay.
5-6 hours
Yep,
long.
people still play it. That's gonna be fun. But what's another thing? Oh, VRChat. What got you into it, Whiplash?
Ah, that's a real good question. I think it was through one of my friends. He didn't have a VR headset at the time, but I can't remember how he got into it. But all I know is he was playing VR chat on desktop mode, and he's like, "You should come play with me for a time or so." Now this was back in like 2019, the very beginning of 2019. He was telling me to come play. I was like, or maybe it was the end of 2018. I don't know. It's one of those two. But I did, and I enjoyed it. But you know, people having VR headsets, and then you have a PC, and you don't get to experience what VR chat's like completely all about. But it's still fun to interact with people and still talk with them.
Mhm.
But I kind of got on VR chat here and there, and then my friend got a VR headset, and then I tried on the VR headset. I'm like, all right, I'm sold on this. So I got that, and I immediately started playing VR chat crazily. Like I haven't stopped playing it since then, and I've been playing it since like the end of 2020. It's just so much fun. There's so much to do in this game.
Any maps
Right.
that you can recommend to anybody who wants to try out VRChat?
Let's see, I made a video on TikTok a while ago, like for a bunch of furries can go and join.
Oh, there is
I guess
some
it's preference,
maps.
honestly.
There is some maps that even furries and somehow weeaboos get in. I think it's called the Black Cat.
Yeah, Black Cat.
The Black
That one's like
that is full of weeaboos and furries all mixed together, and sometimes it goes pretty well, and sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, it's a staple of VR chat at this point. Black Cat, and what else is it? It's classics. Okay, Black Cat. Yeah, Black Cat. Still 4,300 people in it. Murder 4 is another one. Sovereign's Chill Home, The Room of Rain. What's another
Those are
one?
classics.
No,
Oh, there is one map I would like the people to try, and that would be the Frame of Reference. I'm not going to spoil what's so awesome about this world. Not a lot of people go on that world for some reason. I think it's great. But take the time to check it out. The experience is really worth it. What about you, Conrad? Have any maps that come to mind that you would recommend people try on VRChat?
So now if you have if you have motion sickness, this is one you definitely want to avoid. But I need to find the name of it real quick. It's one of the coolest worlds I've ever seen in VR chat because it's basically similar to a ride simulation. Like
Oh.
you sit on these chairs and then you go through like this really cool interactive like ride experience.
I know what you're
I'm
talking
trying to
about.
remember what it's called. It's got an interesting
No, I
name.
know what
that's
you're
all I
talking about.
remember.
Ooh, I know what you're talking about. I got on it before as well. It is
Here we go.
so beautiful.
It's Roar VR's Enlothal Adventure preview. And it's something that they've been working on for a really long time, and they're still working on it. But so far, the amount that they've gotten done is available to go on and experience right now. And it's really pretty, and it's a really interesting and unique experience. I would definitely recommend that one.
You know what? I will say this for furries, furry talk and chill.
Yeah.
Don't really do Fur Hub. Like Fur Hub is a good one. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of people like to, especially if you're in a public world, a lot of furry haters like to usually just get in there, mess with
Right.
you. I've never seen that happen in furry talk and chill, which is a good thing.
That's also very true, but it's actually kind of fun to talk with the haters because
Yeah, but the last time
I
I,
like
did
them.
it, but
I
the last
like
time I
to
did
pick
it,
on them a bit.
yeah, but the last time I did it, all they just said is the same crap over and over again. So I just kind of got annoyed with them.
Oh,
But
well,
usually it's like
between
kids
what
too,
you do.
anyways.
Mostly
They all
kids.
think the same thing. Yeah,
They're all that little brush.
either a brush or a soldier or some kind of weeaboo. It's one of
Call
those
of
two.
Duty character.
Or that police
Yeah.
officer avatar.
Oh yeah, it's one or the other.
You know what I don't understand?
What's up?
Weeaboo seems to hate on furries the most, which I don't understand because we are a community based on what we like, and the social norms don't even like us anyway. So why are you targeting furries anyways?
Because
You know?
they think just like everyone else does. They think that since we're furries, we have that taste for something that they always say that we do when we don't.
Don't get me wrong, there is
So-
some good weeaboos out there that I'm friends with currently. They have no problem with furries, but there's just some out there that are
Right.
Oh no, yeah. There's some out there who just hate furries. It's just like people who hate furries in general. They think we do the same thing everyone else thinks that doesn't like furries think that we do, and that's not the case here. We just have a hobby which is enjoyable. And it's kind of
We
funny
as
too. It's like
furries. Go ahead.
what? What?
Wah. Water.
Wah. Water. I do have
Yes.
water right here actually, but nah, it's the same case with every single furry hater. So I'm not even worried about it anymore. I've gotten to the point like when one comes up, I just don't give them the attention. Never give them the attention.
Doink. Give them the attention. Doink. Give. That should be on a quote. That should be a quote. Doink. Give them the attention.
Doink, give
Doink.
them
Give them
attention.
the doink. Then give
I
them the
mean I
attention.
don't. Even when I'm in a public world in here,
Doink.
I don't give them the attention they want. I just ignore them. It's more fun. It's more fun to me to ignore them because they're not getting a reaction out of me. It's great.
That's
Because
true.
then they actually get more mad, to be honest, and I like it. In retrospect, I like it when they get more mad and makes me more happy.
They remind me of like the gamers that you would play on Call of Duty back in the day that are just screaming at the top of their
Oh,
lungs
God.
because they want attention.
See, I was one of those people. Not for attention, just because I was. I got
You were the
angry
type
quickly.
of gamer that would play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and just scream at the top of your lungs. And then here's the weird part. Nobody understands this unless you lived in that time. But most kids today who play Fortnite will never understand. When you play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or 3, all bets are off the
Different
table.
time.
There is no boundary of what could be the most fucked up thing that somebody can say.
Oh yeah.
And
it was,
if you have a screaming competition, everybody starts screaming. Bloody murder. Those were the times for us where your feelings didn't matter. Either get good or leave the lobby.
Oh yeah.
But now games are
2010 was
quiet.
a different time. Look, to me, search and destroy on Call of Duty back in the day was like peak rage.
That was when I was really good. But
Same here.
anyways,
I can't
Yeah,
play Call of
but
Duty
with-
now.
but now we're in the time where VRChat, now kids want to be this most obnoxious thing, but they're doing it in a way that is not really, not even funny.
No, it's just annoying. Like, there's a way to be funny and scream at the same time, but there's a way which most people do when they hate on furries is just be annoying. Like, and just saying stupid shit. Saying the same thing every one of them say, which is, oh, you do this with animals and you do this and blah, 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 and you don't have a father, blah, blah, blah. Go get a life, go get a job. It's like,
I've heard
In
all
reality-
of that shit already.
and it's like, in
Yeah.
reality, if we don't have a life or have a job, then how do we have what we have as a PC system, especially people who have indexes? From what I see, furries with VR systems have the fucking best setup for VR. And
We
then you have
own
to think
IT.
about exactly.
Yeah, really.
And then-
really.
And then you're saying that we don't have a job, but yet we can afford $5,000 fursuits. Where's the money coming from if we don't have a job? It's like, out of retrospect, it's like furries have complete control of IT. There's a lot of furries I know that are in the medical field, like you back there, Mr. PhD.
He's not medical.
And-
He's a research doctor.
What's he researching this? I don't know.
Wow. Ooh,
Damn.
spicy.
Dang it.
Spicy. I would
God
love to be
dang it.
reproductive endocrinologist.
A drink to that.
Whiplash, this is supposed to be a friendly show.
That's fine. We can use that.
You're
as a-
supposed to be adjacent to the joke. You don't go full on. Stop it, Conrad. You're not
fine.
helping the situation.
Fine. Researching the celery stick. I don't know. It's crunchy and delicious.
Researching the celery stick. He researches mice. Okay.
With some Cool Ranch.
That's the one.
Pretty soon he's gonna be
That's the
researching
one.
fish
We can use that as a cut.
this
like
upcoming weekend.
Oh, that's true. That's
can
I
true.
said
see-
mice, and
Yeah.
then you said ranch.
Yeah, some cool ranch. Celery good with ranch.
No, I said mice, and they said let's add ranch to that, and I was thinking, what? What are you doing with that mice, sir?
Like,
What are you
to
doing
be
with the
fair,
ranch?
to be fair, Colton could just bleep it out and keep it in the show.
I plan to. I plan to.
Thank you.
It's good.
See,
It's a good.
That's all you
it's a
have to
good
do
bit.
is just like you don't have to like keep like when it comes to like
magic.
yes, editing. Yes. No. We know.
The editorial.
His voice cracked up.
It didn't. But yes, okay, but it is like the fact with furries that there's a lot in IT, there's a lot in medical field. There is a lot that you wouldn't think of where furries are at in general. Like truck drivers, for some reason, besides myself, I know a lot of other truck driver furries out there. And then there's quite a few for some reason that I've seen like lawyer furries, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah,
And
one of
then
my
you have-
friends who is a furry. I have one of my friends who is a furry that is going to his master's program for law school.
Exactly.
And- What else? Me. Use me as an example. I am in college currently to major in cybersecurity. So kids, if your stuff gets hacked, you are relying on the furry to protect it.
Exactly.
I want
right.
to make
And
sure your
another
shit doesn't
thing,
get
too,
stolen.
there's also a lot of pilots too, which I actually do want to go to
Oh yes.
aviation school and get a commercial pilot license. I would love to fly, but there's a lot of them, and there's just now there's also some who own their own businesses, which is amazing. And then you do have the furries who do stuff, work, but not at like good places. But it's definitely a
Elaborate
job.
what you mean by doing stuff.
Working. Working.
Working? Working
Like
for the
using
money?
a retail place,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
where's
maybe
yours-
with a
where's your
social
work-
media platform, or
Well, there's a lot. Well, to be fair, there's a lot of furries on social media in general. Like you have, of course, you have a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
people on Twitch. I'm on Twitch trying to do stuff, and then you have TikTok, which there's a lot of some furries on there. You have Twitter, which I feel like at this point, Twitter is just where furry headquarters is, and then it'd be
Right.
Telegram second, and then probably TikTok third, and then Twitch. Actually, no, Twitch third, TikTok fourth. I don't know, it's an interesting thing to think about, like where we're all
Hmm.
located the most at. But I mean, furries do a lot of things that people don't think that you wouldn't think a furry would be good at, but IT is absolutely one. So like if there isn't something, if you need help with something IT related, probably a good 85% chance the person you're talking to is in the furry fandom. Medical wise, a lot of them in there, especially nurses. There's a lot of nurses that are furries.
I'm looking at
And
you,
then-
cameraman. You didn't go down the nursing career.
What? I went down
Exactly.
research.
I know quite a few people.
Research is more
I know
it's
you
still
wanted to do
medical.
research.
Yeah.
But still-
And yes,
I know,
ladies and gentlemen,
it's just a
our
lot.
cameraman has an actual PhD.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a researcher.
I'm
And Courtney, I was
wasting it by
thinking- talking
doing
about
this.
it, like that one video I made this week. The people who actually helped created the COVID vaccine was a furry.
Oh, actually, I
So
actually
people
know
think
them.
it's
They actually,
cool. And then
they actually work at my place, or workplace. Yeah, and I know them.
Oh,
So-
really?
oh wow,
Oh, that's right. You're in Washington. That's right. But
I am in Washington.
yeah,
Yes.
you have
Maryland.
Same thing.
well, where he lives at, like Washington,
Shh, they're not the
Virginia,
same.
and Washington D.C. are pretty close together.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I've been there
collectively
before.
called the DMV area. Yep. DC, Maryland,
All
Virginia.
right.
Oh, I hate that place.
I know you
I
hate
hate
the
the
DMV. I know. I know. I know.
Imagine
yeah,
working at the
'cause in-
DMV. I would hate it.
In Florida, taxes on cars is bull crap.
But anyways,
Zootopia
now
movie.
we're going to. Oh no! But
The
let's
sloth.
talk
Utopia-
about.
Oh no.
Imagine like if like plurality registrations were ran by sloths.
oh god,
God.
can you imagine?
I think I just could buy a bike and ride
What's
into
your
work.
name? Fiction. Okay.
Man.
F. I.
I.
Like, just like people just getting dehydrated in their fursuits in the background, waiting in line. Oh
and
my god.
waiting
I
for
can
the
imagine it.
virality kind of thing. But anyway, speaking of virality, my first virality experience was the last ones, which was Virality Legends, which I actually enjoyed very much. I enjoyed the company that it brought. The people were very nice. The only downside to the virality experience for me, and it had nothing to do with the experience. It's the sometimes there is people who will show up in these virality worlds to crash the worlds, which
Yeah.
is out of the hands of virality. I know that's not their fault. They can't control that sometimes. But I'm pretty sure they will find an alternative, maybe some type of software update that will prevent said crashes of any kind. Who knows? Maybe.
Right.
But I also enjoyed the whole idea of the theme of just wearing your superhero costumes or you're the villain, which was pretty cool. Some of them were pretty interesting costumes, I'll say. Some of them had unique names, some of them had unique powers. People gave me crap for my costume, and they got really creative with it. So I have this crest on my chest of my costume, from my Virality Legends, and it said GH on it, which stands for Grumpy Husky. I am the Grumpy Husky,
Transform
and
into
then,
it. Change into it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Give me a second.
Show the viewers.
The Grumpy Husky.
Snap of the finger.
Where people just say that all you're gonna do is just go to a school of orphans and just make them sad.
All right. So, I'll stand up for this one. So this is the model I used for Virality Legends, which is a pretty cool costume. But on the topic of just, the GH,
God, you're so much
people
skinnier.
got creative with it. So with the GH that you see, people got very creative. My friend Daxter, for one, got very creative with the initials and everything. Instead of calling me Grumpy Husky, he'd call me a glory hole.
Oh my
Well.
gosh.
And then another friend of mine called me a gaping hole.
Man, the GH
I wish I was
coming
making
to
this
save
up.
the day.
GH is here to save the day.
GH is here to rid you of your boner.
Right.
What?
Can I slap him?
It's
What else
your
could
guys'
GH
podcast.
stand
You
for?
can do whatever you
may
want.
be a superhero.
Comment
you may be
below.
a superhero, but I will hit you like a Tom and Jerry cartoon special.
Let me think. There was other things that people call me that was pretty cool. Gay himbo.
That one works.
Yeah, there you
I mean,
go.
that's what me and you are.
I'm not gay.
You definitely lean more toward guys, though, don't you?
I actually don't have a preference. I'm not really. I don't know. I'm very 50-50.
I'm more like 75-25 at this point in time.
Let me change out of this.
I'm like a good serving of lean beef.
You don't.
You eat that 75-25, you know? Or 80-20. I
Yeah.
don't know. What you go for it.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited for the next routing, which is Virality Aqua. I unfortunately do not have a skin for this one this year because most of my friends who I've asked were already full of people they have to commission for.
Like, in my opinion, I just don't care about dressing up for these things. It's whatever. I mean, it's fine if people do it. It's cool seeing all the, ideas.
I wanted to be
and...
Aquaman.
Oh my god.
With a tyrant.
That actually would have been a good idea. Don't give me. That'd been a great idea. Oh, I do want to say one more thing. Another thing about furries, especially in the furry community, there's a lot of car enthusiasts.
Oh yeah.
And I mean a
Yeah,
crap
there
ton
is.
of car enthusiasts.
I got two of them
And
right
mechanics.
between me.
Exactly. It's ridiculous how many car enthusiasts there are that are furries. It's amazing. I love it actually.
Oh,
You would never guess. It's like me and him are two different people who own cars. I love Honda still. I used to own an S2000, and this one owns the Prelude now,
Right.
a fifth gen. And now
Yeah.
I own a Corvette. So to be fair, the furry community is always like spread apart. It's like normal car enthusiasts. You have the ones who have your Honda Civic, and then you have the very few who are rich enough to have like a Ferrari or McLaren, like that one guy does in UK,
Oh
or that
yeah.
owns his own race team. So yeah, it's interesting.
If I ever get a Bugatti, I'm gonna race that dude.
If you ever get a Bugatti, I'm gonna ask you how you got rich that much. Get that rich.
Rich that
Any
much. One friend
Bugatti,
on Twitter
even
had a Gallardo, like a silver one. He just got it too.
oh yeah,
I've
that
only
one.
seen a few pictures though.
The good thing about Gallardos is if you get one with an SMG, they're not like that much. They're under $100,000. Now it's still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
Right.
it's a good deal and good steal for that glorious sound. Because to be fair, those V10s are actually pretty durable, which is funny from Lamborghini. But the SMG transmissions are not. No SMG transmission is, except I guess the one maybe in the LFA because it's made by Lexus, and we know how Toyota is on everything.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Conrad, you were one of the few people that experienced Ferality Luma, and this was like you were very, very new to VRChat at that time.
Yeah, I was probably about 2 or 3 months in, and I remember seeing advertising for it in that Hotel Estrella World, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" I was kind of curious about it, and I looked more into it in my group of friends at the time, and we ended up finding out that it was like a furry convention in VR, and we're like, "Well, that's really cool. I mean, that's something definitely to check out." You had to pay to go to it, but I was like, I mean, it wasn't really a big deal. It was only like $10 or less than. Yeah, I think it was about $10 for base registration. So I was like, screw it, let's do it. So we registered, and then we ended up finding online like they gave you a badge you could put on your avatar, and like the Luma runes, which was really cool and fun to play with. And I remember the day of the event starting. I think it was like June 4th through 6th of 2021, and like yeah, June 4th comes around, like we all get up. I think I took it off of work to go to it, and I remember that day they uploaded Finn's room, first room to Finn's room, and we go to the room and we're like, oh, this is cool. This must be it. Like must be the convention. And everyone's like maybe like the people in the public instance at the moment. And there was like other instances of the people in it, so we were kind of jumping around instances, and we are like, so is this it? Is this the convention? Or like we were kind of confused, and there was a Ferality team member in the public instance, and he was like, oh no, you got to go to the website. He gave us the name of the website, and he's like, you log in with your Discord, or yeah, with your Discord, or was it Discord? No, it was your VRChat account. Sorry. But once you get connected, you use the website to go to the worlds. Like it'll send you an invite link basically to an instance. So it was just funny because like when we first got there, we're like, oh wow, we paid $10 for this, and it was like just Finn's room. I mean, it was still very cool, but it wasn't like didn't feel like a convention. There's no dealer's den or anything. But then once we got into the actual convention, that's when we were like literally just knocked off our feet. I mean, it was like wow. Seeing those worlds for the first time. I remember when we got in there, I think we all went to the lobby first, and it was like, whoa. I mean, literally nothing like I had ever seen in VRChat before, and it was gorgeous. I mean, the trees were like different colors. There was very beautiful atmospheric effects. Just the lighting, everything. Like, it was just crazy. It was so cool. And, I remember watching some panels on the big screen that they had over by that little body of water. And then we hopped around to the dealer's den. I got to check that out, find some really cool avatar creators, which I ended up buying a model. And I think it was it's either the Ghostly model or I think my Canis. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly which model it was, but that was a really cool experience. And then also Club Finn. When I went to Club Finn, I was like, holy crap, because that one, I hands down, like I haven't seen the Aqua ones yet, but I'm hoping to God that they can top Club Fin from Luma, because that one was amazing. It was so freaking cool. It was like this little cave with all these like crazy lights and everything, and there was like these 3D modeled like canine heads that were sticking out, and they had like these diamond crystals in the middle that acted as lasers, I believe, that would create a laser effect going around the club. Looked really, really cool, and they had like emissive layers to them and everything. It looked so sick. And that club also had like a larger outer area outside of that enclosure, and it was huge. There was tons of crystals everywhere in the sky, blinking and flickering and lighting up, and then there was a big body of water with a big waterfall that you could climb up, and they had this little island out there that you could go chill with a couple people if you want to get away from the dance floor and just talk a little bit, stand in front of a mirror. It was really cool. Honestly, Luma for me was like extremely, that was probably peak nostalgia for VRChat for me personally, and I do think about it a lot still. Even to this day, I like to reflect on Luma, and it kind of holds like a special place in my heart. And I don't know, I miss that feeling, but I also really hope that Aqua can kind of, you know, bump it up a notch, I guess you could say, and get that same kind of nostalgia feeling again from that. I'm confident. I'm confident they can do it, because I mean, I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty amazing this time. I mean, I've seen some
yeah.
When
stuff,
was
and it's like, wow.
When was Luma? Because I've been to 3 of them so far. Well, 2 of them, and the third one's gonna be Aqua.
Luma was June 4th through 6th, I believe.
Last year?
Of
then I
last
guess.
year. Yep.
Okay, then I think
Oh.
that was the first one I went to. Then it was Legends, and then now it's Aqua this year.
Yeah, Legends
they
is
have-
the only
yeah.
one I've ever been to.
Haven't they had like 4, or I guess wasn't there one before Aqua, or not Aqua, but Luma?
Before Luma, they had Ferality 2000, which was like a space theme. That one was pretty cool too. I didn't get a chance to go to that one because I wasn't in VRChat yet. And then they had Ferality 2020, which was the very first Ferality. That one was a very. I heard it was kind of a rougher start. It was a much smaller scale event at that time. And there wasn't as many people on VRChat back then. But I think around 2020 was the time that, we started seeing more and more people come onto the platform, obviously because of the pandemic and COVID and everybody having to stay home. Real life
Exactly.
cons getting canceled. It's like, oh,
Now,
yikes.
either there's gonna be a good thing or a bad thing that comes out of my mouth. COVID was good in some aspects, but horrible in others. Like it is still being horrible
Right.
in. Not now it's just being horrible in like economy purposes, because
Oh,
gas
yeah.
prices and everything is still expensive. It's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I guess is what caused it, but COVID did help people like be more socializing on like social platforms, which is a good thing, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Especially VRChat and even like normal people, I guess. What was that Zoom people were using back in the, like when it was popular? Zoom
I
something.
had to do that for university too. Yeah, Zoom. Oh,
We still use Zoom.
true.
I had Zoom downloaded for my job for like 6 months, and we used it 3 times, and that was it.
I should find the video to put in here. This guy, he had a really popular, I think it was on TikTok. They would literally spend like 8 hours a week outside of their class time choreographing, like perfectly choreographing their Zoom like cameras from their home to do like a dance or like a flash mob for their teacher, like just to like shock them or blow them away. And like there was always one dude
Oh.
in like a duck suit or something like that. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
I gotta find that video now because that was just so funny.
But
So I know
anyways,
one guy-
People got interesting with it.
Oh yeah, they did. I remember those videos. That was pretty good. But
Yeah.
anyways, we will be at Ferrari Aqua. If you guys want to say hello to us, don't be afraid to say hello. Don't be shy.
Yes.
We don't
Yeah.
bite. Maybe
We
him,
won't
but I
bite
don't
him.
bite.
I don't bite. There's some people who messaged me after BLC saying they were afraid to come up to me and say hi. I'm like,
More people were afraid to come up to me in FWA. But anyways,
Well, it makes sense because the way you look. I guess for some reason, even when I'm in my partial, in my Hembo Hooters outfit, I'm still like, if you come up and ask, or for a hug or a picture, which you can come up to me anytime and ask me for a picture or a hug. I don't mind at all. It doesn't
Oh,
bother
yeah,
me.
same
If it looks
here.
like I'm busy, still come up and ask. All right, I don't mind.
God. But anyways,
Yes.
before we end this episode, I want to give a shout out to the Ferality staff for doing an awesome job on this project. You guys are doing amazing. That includes Conrad.
Heck
That
yeah.
includes our cameraman in the background, because these guys
Aw.
are Ferality staff. You guys do an amazing
Yeah.
job for what you guys do to make this a reality for people to enjoy the experience. Shout out to all of the creators. Actually, not creators, staff for Ferality. And big shout out to the people who make the worlds. You guys probably have the hardest job.
Heck yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of work
But
goes
anyways,
into that.
oh yeah. But we will see you guys next week on the next episode, and then we'll probably be maybe talking about our experiences with Ferality. See you
Exactly.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Boop, 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 boop.